Hey everyone, Paizen here with another Couch Cat podcast video where we discuss all topics related to SimpleMMO, a browser and mobile based MMORPG. This video will be discussing the 2022 best players of SimpleMMO community event. Now, originally, this community event, if you will, has been hosted by XBuy and was created by XBuy in the past. He would eventually pass it on to Turian, and now this year they will be co-hosting the event together. And what is this event? This event, there are multiple categories that players of the community will nominate each other for. It's pretty much the Emmys for SimpleMMO, and not as weird. Maybe it is weird. A lot of people in SimpleMMO are weird, including CrazyFi, not me. So let me pull up the event from last year because there's it's a lot of recycled information. XBuy, he's the one that gave us the idea to do the video on it, and he's got more information that's developing as time moves closer to the event. So here behind me on the screen is the original event. You'll see here it's posted by Turian like 11 months ago. So if you go into the community tab, you go to discussion posts, and then you go to events and competitions. All you have to do is search for best players, and you'll see the prior event. Good reference if you've never heard of it before, if you're a new player, or if you've been living under a rock like we have over here at Couch Cat. But some things to take note that apply to the 2022 event is that the expected nomination date range is the 28th of November through the 8th of December. And this is coming from XP. I'm going to say XPie because when have I not embarrassed myself here? Coming directly from him. And then he said the 11th of December through the 22nd of December is the voting block. So once the nominations are presented and the players are tallied, then the votes begin on out of those nominations who will actually, win that category they've been nominated for. And that time fluctuates because it is done manually by mods, or at least that's what I've been told. So, moving on to the past event, it says here there's categories that players again will nominate their peers for, and then once those are, that pool of nominations have been selected, then the voting begins. This past event, they had a unique award that could be applied to your profile by Mike and 50 diamonds. And then also what was being offered was 30 mil gold. But XY has since presenting this information for 2022. He's alluded to 100 mil per winner. Nothing set in stone. And again, things are moving, things are changing all the time. But I will say this, XPie is coming onto the stream, which we stream Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. US Eastern Standard Time. It's coming onto the stream the 6th of December to fully flesh out the event during its nomination phase. So you'll see here, there's a list of existing categories, but I'm going to push to the subsequent posts because there's a lot of posts tied to this event, okay? But the subsequent post has 3 new categories here that were voted by the community to be added into the pre-existing categories. So I'm going to flop over here and, it loaded. Thank you. So this is the set in stone category list for 2021. Okay, 2022, I don't know, maybe new events will be voted. Maybe these new voted categories are permanent. I'm not sure. Again, XBuy will be on to explain that in more detail. But we have friendliest player, we have best avatar, best set of gear and showcase, best guild owner, best salesman, best player killer, generous player, collector, chattiest player, event host, most helpful, best artist, rookie of the year, best free to play player, and most influential player. Now that's interesting. A lot of this, of course it's community, it's peer-to-peer, right? But what are the guidelines for like most influential? What is that? How do you determine that? I'm not sure. maybe that's laid out later, or maybe that's just like it's up to everyone's interpretation what influential means to them. Which I mean, okay. And then we also have best avatar, and it's only custom avatars. So of course, I mean, I think that's self-explanatory, right? And then rookie of the year, only players who joined in the year of the event. So if this carries over 2022, right? Now here's some simple rules to follow. I'm sure they apply to what's coming up in 2022. You cannot nominate yourself. That's a bummer. You know what I mean? I mean, not that I would do it, but crazy if I would probably do it. You cannot pay, bribe, tell people to vote for you. So Dark, we're looking at you, but we know you bribe people for a lot of things, your books. So let's not do that for the event, okay? I'll still vote for you. And then you may only win one category. But what if you're just like a baller? What if you're just like a godlike player that everyone's just like, well, you know, it's kind of like 5 of those categories right there. You know, live and learn. You don't get to win them all. So moving on to the categories. And again, you know, I'll link this down in the description so you can just quickly grab that information to reference for later. But this is the announcement of the winners for the categories. And we'll see here, Min won friendliest player. Oh, I should also note that some rules that are applying across the board, you can't vote for people who are banned, even up to the event. Okay, and you can't vote for people who have been inactive. So someone who's been inactive for a month, you can't vote for them. So does that mean the inactive players, you know, they can find a loophole and just start being active? Like if this is their thing, if they're a social player, you know, like the the OGs of the game that, you know, they're hanging around the Discord, maybe they're on the game every once in a while. But when this rolls around, do they just start logging in every week? I don't know. That's something for you to decide for yourself. So we have Min for friendliest player. We have best avatar. We have Kanito. Set of gear and showcases, Gravy. Guild owner was Pratt. Salesman was just Panda. Player killer was Beelzebub. Eclipse and Witch of Man. Your drizzle. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. Generous player To, of course, and collector was Remorse. Chattiest was Hyperion 1811. Event host is Mike. And most helpful, Amberjack. Best artist, Ubi, of course. I mean, who else was around? Unless, I mean, you're fighting for other artists who are doing commissions in the game, so that's not fair to say. But yeah, that was, you know, a good win. A rookie of the year, we have Kin, which is hilarious to me because, you know, if you see him in game now, because he's such a, you know, pay to win player, it's like that guy was a rookie. So dude's like 100K now. Like, but whatever. And best free to play player is Telfia, which I don't know if that will ever change unless Telfia just quits the game. And then most influential, we have multiple votes here. We have Long Beach Griffey, Soulbum the Shapeshifter, No Chan, and Crafting. Have you heard of any of those people besides No Chan? Let me know in the comments. All right, so those are the winners. This event at a glance, there's a lot of moving parts here because if you just scroll down, you know, people are talking about it, but then look at this. All hands on deck have to scroll through this and collect all this information. So this is a huge event, and I'm glad XSpy brought it to our attention. I'm glad he's going to come onto the podcast to mention and explain in detail more about it. This video here is just to open your eyes to it, remind you that it's just around the corner. Yeah, is it? Yeah, it's just around the corner. You said the 28th. That's literally tomorrow. Today's the 27th. Okay. And to, you know, start writing down your nominations. And to all those who are looking forward to this event and want to win a category, you know, best of luck to you. In our Discord, the Couch Cat Discord, we have a podcast input text channel. We're taking hot takes or just your general thoughts of the event, either from previous experience, you know, being in it, being a winner, voting for it, or, you know, upcoming 2022, who you think should win, Do you think you should win? Do you like the event? Do you think it's like all vanity? Like, let us know because we want to talk about these hot takes during our stream. Again, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. US Eastern, on YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, that is the 2022 Best Players of SimpleMMO event. Again, hosted by Xby and Turian. It's a long-standing event, and it's I think it's as cool and as much involved as and engaged with the community as it can be next to the community event. So that's the video. I messed up the outro. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new here, and head on over to couchcatpod.com for more SimpleMMO content. I didn't mess that one up. It's pretty good. I'm just talking to myself. Pretty sweet.